Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Bork No Game video. Today's video is dedicated to a progression guide, so let's jump right into it. Let's go into dreams and talk about a particular stage that I feel like most folks are stuck on, and that's going to be Chapter 9, specifically 9.10, otherwise known as the Phoebe wall. So, this Phoebe wall is absolutely terrible. Two Phoebes pop up, it's a hard stage. Let's talk about it. So one of the first things that I want to say for progression, you're going to go into your character, right? And I want us to look at gear. Now, the biggest pieces of gear that you're going to upgrade in the beginning, outside of everything else, is going to be your weapon and your accessory. And the reason why is because your weapon holds an attack stat, and Bloodsucker is a fantastic weapon. I suggest everyone using it on their main single target DPS, or even your AoE DPS, because it has crit rate plus 10%. But anyways, it's really easy to get the Bloodsucker because you can get this dude at exploration. Now, the other reason why I say accessories, by the way, I got this through story, so if you progress through story, you're going to get this one too for free. That's because accessories have attack multipliers to it, right? Not all accessories, or maybe all accessories, yeah, all accessories I guess have an attack modifier to it. It doesn't really matter which accessory you use in the beginning, but if you can get this one in story, ideally level this one, because every action has a 75% chance of increasing damage rate by 8%. Super amazing. And on your tank, you also get this one throughout story. This one's really good, 50% chance of increasing damage resistance of one random ally, and it goes crazy high, right? So make sure to look out for those. And let's say you've leveled up your weapon, you've leveled up your accessory to the max pretty much. Then I suggest leveling up an armor piece that does something like this. I believe this kimono set is the only one that does it, and pretty much what happens is if you're less than 50% HP, you go up in attack, which is pretty good because some units do go below 50% HP quite often, and it's only wearable by attackers and summoners. The only summoner that I think is good is Gagaku, and that's because she has a column attack. So next thing is going to be levels, right? You'll notice here that I only have 3 people who are high leveled. And the reason why is because the rest of these units are sort of enablers to my 3 DPS, right? My DPS are Yuki, Pan, and Phoebe. Even Gigi's sort of in the sidelines. And the reason why is because Annie's here for tanking, Ricky is here for actually stunning and dealing somewhat mitigatable damage. Gigi's here for stunning as well, but somewhat mitigatable damage. Yuffie is actually here for crowd control. Her multipliers are really low, but she's just good enough to, for example, boost damage for Nina and Mary as well, because she boosts Sork damage. And then Chio's here to enable Yuffie, Nina, and Mary. Believe it or not, my Mary and Nina are actually super clutch, mainly because they do column attacks, right? Column attacks are a big deal. They do it on their unique specifically. Alright, so you're okay, you've been talking a lot, you've been talking about your team, so what do you mean by leveling? So one of the few things that can actually level before 9-10 is going to be your sorcerers. For example, if you go into their level, hit the plus button, you can actually go at 9-9. So you don't have to beat 9-10 on collapse. You just have to beat 9-9 collapse in order to get, level badges in order to go past 60, right? Which is super important because that's going to enable you to essentially go past that stage. And of course, the other ones are going to be the attackers, which is really cool. They actually get attackers always level one of the first ones to level. So at 9-3, you can level your attackers. I'm not using Maki because her multipliers kind of suck, and she's not as good as my Pen and my Gigi, so she kind of gets outscaled by both of these two who are SRs, mainly because of the dupes, and we'll talk about dupes later. And lastly, the other character that can, go past 60 is going to be defenders, right? So defenders can actually access it at 9-7, 9-6, and as low as 9-5. So if you're ever stuck on a stage, the first thing that you're going to want to level is going to be your attacker, right? So, make sure to look out for those, and then go to your defenders if you need it, and then your sorks after. Pretty much the last ones to be able to, unlock levels are going to be, your debuffing dark units, your light units, which is Phoebe, and then I believe summons are also one of the last ones. The only summoner that I like is personally Gagaku because of her column attack, and I think that she's actually really good. Alright, so let's talk about the dupe system, and pretty much this is going to be another large part of progression. Now, lenses or dupes are essentially, they provide huge stat gains, but most of of all, Lens 5 or Great Effect 5 is the most important for SRs because it increases their special skill chance by 15%. Now, the reason why that's so important is because there's a 1 in 3 chance for this attack to be triggered. So if there's lucky RNG, you could trigger this like back to back to back to back. And that's what makes SRs so much better than SSRs who are, you know, 4-star or 5-star, right? Because at 4-star, they only unlock their ability to deal more damage, and at 5-star, they only deal more attack. They don't get the special increase until grade 6, right? So that's why some SRs, such as Pan and Gigi, and even Rikia, will deal more DPS than a base SSR, simply because they have their special skill enabled and they have a 1 in 3 chance for their attacks to be, you know, doing a special. And obviously it's not easy to get lenses, it's not easy to get the correct RNG. So one of the places that I'm going to suggest free-to-play players to summon on is going to be the Radiant summon, which is really weird to say, right? Like, it's a non-banner, there's nothing in particular that you're going to be getting. And the reason why is because in the Radiant summon, you're guaranteed, you know, every banner you're guaranteed an SR, right? If you do a, you know, 10 by 10. But the thing is it only costs 1880 like gems to summon on the Radiant banner. And you don't really, if you want to level a particular SSR, for example, you want Yuffie and you want Yuffie dupes, that's perfectly fine. Feel free to go there. Limited banners are not free to play friendly, all right? And I have to say that because they cost 4,000 gems. Granted, you have a really high chance to get a SSR character because of these banners. You know, they have rate ups, you know, after 10 times or 2 multis, you get, you know, a guaranteed SSR. After 7 multis, you're guaranteed another SSR, you know, if you haven't gotten Gemmy, but you're still gonna get an SSR, right? The thing is it costs 4,000 gems. So you can do, like, with my amount of gems, I could do 4 multis. But if I were to do multis on Radiant Summon or, you know, Canon Expedition or Second Prophecy or something, like, I can get like almost double. You get more multis from your gems. And the reason why that's so important to me is because you can level up your SR units and your rare units, right? Because it is really difficult to get dupes for SSRs in this game. Like, I was lucky enough to get Miyuki at 5-star, right? And I was super lucky to get Phoebe at 4-star without buying the pack, right? I just really want to hammer that home because it's stupid hard to get dupes for SSRs. I would get, like, you know, Yuffie and Vivian's on rate, and you're probably gonna get Berryness and Hersey just because this game is weird like that, right? I'm pretty sure you guys have experienced it. And I just want to say, like, your SSRs, they're not going to be your carry as a free-to-play player. Granted, Miyuki and Phoebe are really great. You know, you can get 5-star Miyuki pretty easily if you follow, you know, the perk rewards. Where is it? Destined Encounter. I picked Miyuki again because maybe one day I can get her to 6-star, right? That's my goal, because Miyuki at 5-star is quite broken. And then on day 8, the first time you get Miyuki. So you can go about it that way, because 5-star Miyuki is, like, definitely worth it. I'll show gameplay at the end of the, you know, video, because I beat, like, chapter 13 and I'm on chapter 14. By the way, chapter 14 is the very last chapter in the entire game right now, so 15 is 0 for 0. Pretty much, like, I know I suggested Kasumi banner. Kasumi banner is gonna be fantastic if you do 2 multis on it. It's gonna be great. Even if you do rolls on Gemmy, it's gonna be good as well. But the thing is like, it's just not realistic for free-to-play players to get dupes on SSRs, right? Unless there's, like, some sort of guaranteed way of getting them. The only way that you can, you know, want to progress is leveling your SRs, getting your SR dupes, alright? And then, of course, if you're stuck, like, in gold or anything, feel free to do Gnosis or Honor or Contribution summons. Just note that eventually, like, stuff like Anna and other, like, SSRs will rotate into this, but, you know, we got, like, 2 months. There's, like, 59 days until this rotation changes into something else. But if you want to, you can save your summons here, but this is a great way to essentially get resources, right? You cannot get this until the guaranteed 99 times, or, you know, you have to summon 99 times on this banner. Pretty much you can get stuff like the 500k gold, you know, Nightmare Bottle XL, SSR gear, SSR accessories. So feel free to look into these options as well if you're stuck in progression. But that's my largest suggestion to you is, you know, build SR units because of the dupe factor, because of the fact that they will outperform. For example, let's just look at Rikia and her multipliers, right? Her unique is at 245%. Let's go to Yuffie. Her unique is at 210%, and she can deal an additional 15% damage. That's still not higher than, you know, Rikia at all, by any means. And Rikia can even, you know, land a stun or a silence, so that it gets even better, and she reduces attack and defense. I'm just saying, don't focus on SSRs as a free-to-play, because it's not for us, or it's not for you. Like, I'm not a completely free-to-play player, but I just want to put my 2 cents in there. If you want to save for Kasumi banner and get one dupe of her, that's perfectly fine. If you want to get one dupe of Jemmy, that's perfectly fine. I'm just saying, make sure to look at your SRs and don't get too focused on the limited banners, because these are gem sinks and they are expensive when you could get double the SRs and Rs from normal banners. All right, that's the only thing I wanted to say. I haven't been pulling on any of these like limited banners. You can see I have 42 tickets. I've been buying some tickets as well. I suggest just going in on like just the off banner stuff. Anyways, my biggest message with SSRs is that a 5-star SR and a 5-star SSR are pretty much the same in some regards. There might be some SSRs such as Miyuki who can essentially outscale, you know, an SR because of her abilities. Just note that most SSRs will not be able to outperform an SR until they hit 6-star, alright? So once that happens, pretty much most SRs will fall flat into their face. And I wanted to mention that because SRs will have a limit in what they are capable of doing, because there's still a lot more to go into the game. I just wanted to say that, and I'm not saying that pulling on limited banners is bad, because I'm still going to pull on Kasumi. I'm just letting you know that if you feel stuck, don't feel like you have to pull on the limited banner. All I'm saying is pull on other off-rate standard banners so you can get SR shards, and in the future you can invest your diamonds into limited banners because you have more access to in-game events, because you have an SR team that can progress. I don't want people focused on SSRs and become unable to progress into the game because they don't have dupes that are able to tackle content within Illusion Connect. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, and I will see you in the next one.